Welcome to Open Studio. A good afternoon to you. I'm your host, Thabang, and you're watching Cape Town TV channel 263. I'm so glad that you could join us today. For many of you who might not know at home, Open Studio is actually a flagship program right here at Cape Town TV, which airs Mondays to Fridays at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's a platform that's actually open to the general public to come in and share with the rest of the viewers that which they do in and around communities. Anything from projects, initiatives, or programs which are exciting but to the betterment and advancement of the community, this is the place to be. If you would like to be a special guest on our show, won't you drop us an email at junaid@capetowntv.org, and we will shortly revert back to you. And thank you once more for tuning in. And today, I've got an exciting guest, Mr. Zozo Mohoto, coming all the way from the Emthonjeni, I gotta say it right, Heritage Film Festival. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Thabang. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Cape Town TV.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for us hosting you. We're going to speak all things film today.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Exciting stuff. So when was Emthonjeni actually established, and why did you feel the need to do so?
The dream of Emthonjeni itself has been a dream long in the making, more than 10 years. Oh, wow. But finally, we can say that the vision is manifesting in reality. This was going to be the first annual Emthonjeni Heritage Film Festival, and we are looking at hosting this event annually moving on, but officially this is the first Emthonjeni Heritage Film Festival, but itself, the concept, the dream has been long time coming.
10 years in the making.
I'm definitely telling you.
Congratulations.
Yes,
it is
absolutely.
a big deal.
Thank you, we're so excited.
Just quickly for the viewers, is it currently running? When are the dates? When?
Sure. The dates, it starts from the 30th of April, okay, and then it ends on the 4th of May, okay. So from the 30th of April, we will be in Guguletu at the J.L. Zwane Memorial Church, okay. That's on the first day, and then on the 1st of May, we will be in Langa at the Monwabisi Hall, which is also known as the Love Life Center. And then on the 2nd of May, we will be in Magukanye Arts Room in Side B, Khayelitsha. And then on the 3rd and 4th of May, we are back in Guguletu at the J.L. Zwane Memorial Church. That is then for the workshops. And so we'll be facilitating workshops on the last 2 days.
Wow, a whole 5-day dreamland right
Absolutely.
now. That's so really awesome. And the name Emthonjeni, what does it actually mean and how did it come about? Yes,
okay, very good question. I like that. Emthonjeni is a Xhosa word which means fountain, a spring, fountain of life, a spring, a natural spring of water from where the water comes from. And why the word Emthonjeni? Emthonjeni Heritage. The word Emthonjeni comes from, we are coming from the roots. We are rooted, we are grounded. You see, but as grounded as we are aiming high. We are aiming for the moon, we are aiming for the stars. Okay, so that is what the literal translation of the word Emthonjeni means.
Clearly, you are aiming very high, and I like that. The sky is not the limit in this context, right? And a little bit more about the festival. What is your role in it, and that of the organization at large?
Yes, absolutely. My role within Emthonjeni is I am the marketing manager, but more than the marketing manager, we do so many other things, but I am the marketing manager for Emthonjeni. Why are we doing this Heritage Festival? You see, in Cape Town, we feel that Cape Town deserves a much bigger and better platform when it comes to recognizing filmmakers, scriptwriters, and the likes thereof. Just the whole entertainment, showbiz industry in general. Yes, we respect and we acknowledge Gauteng as, as the powerhouse with this regards. However, we feel that, and we know, not just feel, but we know that Cape Town has mega talent. Yes. And these are some of the means we are taking to make sure that we can have Cape Town put on that platform, recognized on that platform, especially our grassroots, filmmakers, documentary makers, in terms of animation, script writing. So what we are doing, as we are said from the word Emthonjeni, we are coming from the ground up. We are going to the townships, We are going to the Cape Flats region, and we are finding people there with little resources, you know, who are pushing passion, but who have, you know, who are pushing it to the best of their ability, and we are bringing them together, and we are making them network and providing them platforms along, you know, amongst other things as well.
I love that. That is so profound, because what you're basically saying that you're going to the untapped raw
Yes,
talent,
yes,
you know,
yes.
where there are not opportunities, or they don't even know where to access opportunities.
Yes.
So here you are showcasing this
Yes.
an array of talent, the wealth of talent that South Africa has within the rural communities.
Correct.
What other unique measures do you have in place in making sure that you draw out, as you say, draw out the talent from the communities, especially those that are disadvantaged?
Okay, sure. Okay, we are also from the community. We are leading by example. The things that we are doing, we are also in the industry ourselves. Yes, we are using obviously social media to get through to the relevant people. First of all, what we did is we made a call out to submissions to local filmmakers in the townships. We spread those news via your local newspapers, word of mouth, you name it, by all means necessary. So we've managed to have your local filmmakers then submit their material. We had obviously a panelist to then you know, view the material that was submitted, and then from there we're able to choose as to which material, which footages, which you know was more relevant according to, since we say the theme is heritage, as much as it's heritage, but also about filming. So that is how we've been able to scout out who's who, and I must say the response that we've been having is tremendous, overwhelming.
I can imagine.
But I also think one of the reasons why we're having such a tremendous response is we see that people are actually hungry for events. I mean, it's been the lockdown, it's been corona, you know, all these things. So now that we have this glimmer of hope that, you know, there's the light at the end of the tunnel, people want to come out and you know, people want to come out and actually
breathe a little bit.
Thank
you.
We've been
cocooned for far too long. I'm so happy. The timing couldn't be better. This is the way we should actually enter the second half of the year. Just catch a breather. Like it has been quite a hectic.
I like that.
It's been quite a hectic year. So I understand that you have a lot of other things that you're actually going to be doing. So I'll touch base with that with your other colleague.
Correct.
But for now, we need to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Don't go away. Welcome back. You tuned into Open Studio. This is Cape Town TV, channel 263. I'm so glad that you could join us today. For those of you who've just tuned in, we are speaking all things film and festivals, so you couldn't have tuned in at a better time. And next to me, I've got Mr. Ndumiso Sibindlana, who is actually from Emthonjeni organization, which is busy doing an amazing festival that's currently going to be running as of tomorrow, right? For 5 days right here. Couple of days in Guguletu and in Kailicha, so please be on the lookout. We're going to be giving out their social media linkages later on so that you're able to know where to find them. And I understand that you are the festival coordinator. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Right. What does your role involve as the festival coordinator?
Okay, so my role as a festival coordinator, as the word says, coordinate. It's to coordinate, you know, the plan. So the plan comes together, you know, at the end of the day. So if I may elaborate a little bit in terms of this festival and what we have been going through. As my colleague had earlier mentioned that, so this project itself had a concept and a theme. The theme is around history and heritage. And so the criteria was around that. We had so much filmmakers who tried to submit their films, but we had to, according to the criteria, we had to see if they fit to the concept, you know, of the project. And I must say, with the stuff that we've got, the films that we have, that we've managed to bag, they're so interesting because they really, you know, it's stories. You know, some of us would, you know, resonate with the stories. I really think it's a worthwhile festival to really check out. in any case, it's a public event.
Yes.
Because also the idea was that we really wanted to engage with our communities. In so doing, we tried to get involved also the people who play roles in their communities. You know, so basically we didn't want to make it look like, you know, some superstars, you know. We wanted to get people who are engaging with their communities, you know, to sort of like have them play a role in this. And so that was the whole procession, or, you know, if I may say. As a festival coordinator, I mean, even till today, there are things that, you know, we just had to make sure that, you know, they work out for because we don't want to be making no mistakes on the day. But so far we are doing well. And the response also, people can't really, you know, they can't wait to see the festival.
Well,
and,
I'm excited, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It couldn't have come at a better time, like I was speaking earlier on.
Say that again.
You know,
Say
because
that
really
again.
we need to go out there and appreciate the arts,
Oh, yes.
especially locally produced. And I like your angle because you're saying that you're not looking for something that's outside of that which people could relate. So it's everyday rawness, you know, to it, you know, like depicting who we are in its core, the roots, you know, which is just so phenomenal. So viewers at home, I'd really like to encourage you to go out there and really support this festival. It's all about who we are, proudly South African, and Mzansi localist lekker. There's no better time to go out before winter kicks in, right? We might as well.
Signature right there.
Exactly. In terms of the film industry in South Africa, in your opinion, where do you think it's actually going? Do you think are we getting somewhere, or are we veering away from who we are and losing our essence?
If we're talking about South African film industry at large, it's getting somewhere. I mean, big time, you know. I mean, we've got platforms like Netflix now who are looking for filmmakers, you know, to submit their stories and stuff like that. The industry at large is growing so much, but I feel there has been a gap. Like my colleague had earlier mentioned, once again, the idea, the planning of this idea has always been there, but it was just lack of resources and, you know, management skills, and, you know, just to make, you know, the festival to look like festival in our townships or in our areas. And so if I may answer you better on that one, I would say with the platform that we are trying to create now, because the idea doesn't just, or it's not going to end with the festival. When it finishes, the idea is to kind of like prolong the, you know, this whole idea. So hence we want to introduce film societies, you know, within this project. So that's going to kind of like, you know, be on ongoing basis. Exactly, be on ongoing basis. And so far there has been many associations who have been wanting to be on board with us. After having seen, you know, the whole marketing, you know, of the festival, there has been quite a few of them who really, you know, would have liked to work with us.
That's amazing. I like
so there's an opportunity right there.
Yes, so viewers at home, if you're out there and you would want to be in the film industry, there we are, we've got Emthonjeni. Why not join now? And you might be holding something in your hand.
Actually, they must come through to the event. It's a public event. And we are sponsored by NFVF. They are our great sponsors for this event. We are thankfully, you know, for that.
That is the National Film and Video Foundation, right? So they are behind you. Okay, that's wonderful to know. So what role are they actually playing in assisting you? And if I may ask, what makes your Emthonjeni Festival different from others? Okay, so
I'd say first of all, I'm guessing the attraction. This kind of festival has happened before, but many years before. So now this was to kind of like revive that skill. One of my colleagues who is here right now, she's one of those legends. You know, if you would hear more of her biography or her story, then you will actually know that this filming idea of business is something that's been going on for a long time. But it's just that people have been doing independent filmmaking, which also on its own, it's got its own challenges. And this is one of the topics we'll be covering actually during the workshop seminars. You know, just to kind of like, you know, share with the audience, especially high school learners. We would really love for them to be at the space, because we really think this is a big opportunity for them, especially the ones who are really interested in filmmaking. Because as a filmmaker, you go through a whole lot of things. Some, because they see stuff already done on TV, they think, you know, it's a glimmer.
Walk in the park.
Oh yes, but actually it's tough work, you know, even to put a team together. So it's not an easy thing. But the workshops will be covering a few topics on alternative distribution as well.
Okay.
So hence I've just mentioned now that, for instance, Netflix is one of the platforms. But we tend to look more to the Western when we've got the whole continent here, Africa. And so it's time now that maybe we need to think out of the box, not necessarily wait for things to come to us. So this platform actually, you know, is one of the reasons why it's here. And already we are kind of like interacting with those platforms.
100%. So there we have it, locally produced, locally seasoned. It's time, sekunjalo, for us to do our own thing. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Don't go away.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. We are still in conversation with Emthonjeni, which is an organization that's doing amazing stuff. You know, there's a festival coming up, so exciting days ahead. You're tuned into Open Studio. This is Cape Town TV channel 263. I'm your host, Thabang. And as we continue the conversation, we have Umama Lungiswa Sithule, who is actually an audience developer for the organization, who's going out there, figuring out how they can probably get word out about an amazing festival that you're currently running. So, Mama, how are you today? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ma. So, Mama, I understand that you are an audience developer, right? And for you, Emthonjeni, we've been speaking about it now with your other colleagues. You've got amazing work that you have currently that you are doing. But where do you see Emthonjeni Film Festival in the next 5 to 10 years?
Gee, wow. Even that 5 years to 10 years, it's a long thing. For me, as from today, as from tomorrow, I see Emthonjeni espaklisha ehamba ephumelela with many things that we have in mind as a group. But as our guest speaker says it all about it. But what I'm saying, Emthonjeni, for the 5 to the 10 years, I think that we'll be having lots of stuff in between. It's just the beginning now, so I think we'll be taking from that.
So when you speak about the development side of it, you just don't want to have Emthonjeni Festival once a year and that's done. Because your colleague also said that there's going to be an ongoing, so like a workshop, sort of like a training, you know, to bring in local filmmakers from the rural areas to come in and learn about the industry. So if somebody now watching currently saying that this is what I love doing, I need more exposure, do you offer any training currently, or are you going to be offering anything after the festival? Okay,
to start with, tomorrow, my film which I made, it was 2011, it's called Bring Back Yesterday. It's going to be an opening for the event. Tomorrow, it's Bring Back Yesterday. Bring Back Yesterday, it's about old age pensioners who live in the hostel for the past like 60 to 70 years. And yet the municipality wanted to evict them. So my anger and my argument with the municipality was that my uncle also was part of that. Because most of them, they lost their livestock, they lost their wives, they lost their families. So I was so angry, they couldn't be sort of like evicted. You see, so it started there. That my film is about that. Then go and watch that tomorrow at 12. Starting at 12, our festival, The other thing that I'll be doing, I'll be also facilitating the workshop which will be held on the 3rd and the 4th in Gugulethu at JL Zwane. So we'll be like different filmmakers will be experienced and also facilitating the students. If I can mention the schools that we'll be having, it's Fezeka High School, Mfuleni, which is called Amanzi Omthombo High School, and then in Langa, which is called Langa High School. So we'll mix those students, and also in Mitchell's Plain as well, we'll have like 5, 6 mixture of colored school kids as well.
That's so cool. And Ma, I know that you've been in the industry for the longest time, and I know it's not an easy industry to go into, and I really appreciate the fact that your organization has just laid a platform for youngsters to come in and showcase what they have. What advice would you give somebody now who's watching in terms of coming into the industry?
First, it's very tough. But it's just that for them, they are so lucky to have us, because if my colleagues can tell you, like the ones that have just spoken here, we've been to festivals and having no opportunity whereby our films could be screened then. You see, we used to work, and also our passionate grows and grows until we wanted to make our own films. With my first film took me to Sweden in 2001 because I won an award. It was called Isibande. Isibande, it was about the spiritual journey of a young girl into womanhood, and it was happening in Kailicha. So it was almost a year I did my research, getting to know that family. I'm more into people's story. That's my passion. I think lots of our kids or of our people, they do have stories, but they don't know where they can take their stories to. Also for them now, they are so fortunate and lucky because the media then wasn't like, we didn't have that much social media like Facebook or WhatsApp. So now at least it's easier. Like for instance, YouTube. And if I can say to you, in my on Tuesday, when I'm doing the independent filmmaking workshop with the students, I'll be teaching them how to become a filmmaker, and also will be filming that, so that at the end of the, I'll give them tasks as to be a producer, a director, or a scriptwriter. Then they will group themselves and decide who's going to do this and that. And then once that is done, then we'll edit, so that at the end of the day, they will see there a little bit, maybe a 2-minute piece or a 3-minute piece, that so that they can know that it's not difficult, but it's just that you need resources. And for them, they have smartphones for now.
Exactly, Ma. And speaking about resources, of course, you are planning to do a lot more beyond the festival, and you've got plans again, you know, for many years to come. For somebody that's watching right now, how can we best support your organization?
I think those people who can have amandla or funding or sponsor, if they could also but support it, because you really need the resources. And also, like for the event, we have spent so much time on doing things. Even though we had that funding from the National Film and Video Foundation, it wasn't enough, but it was a platform for us so that we can start moving on. Having said that, I think some of my colleagues were saying that we need this Emthonjeni Heritage Film Festival to run many and many more years. Yes. So what I'm saying to the people that can fund us, then we'll really appreciate that.
Okay, Ma. That's wonderful. Does Mama have the social media handles, Facebook page, Igamaya, Layo, and Instagram, or your website, even a telephone number that you can just give to our audience?
Oh, okay. I'll leave it with you guys so that you can also just say it, because we've got lots. Yes. And then I don't have my my page with me, so that I can give you the right thing, because I don't want to do the mistakes. I mean, as a legend, so I can't do mistakes, so I have to be careful.
So legend.
Yes. So before we leave, then we'll leave you with all the necessity.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Ma, no, that's wonderful. Well, I'm quite impressed, Mama, you know, with the work that you're doing, and I love the fact that you are also using your talent, your wealth of knowledge, having been in the industry for so long, to encourage and help promote,
more,
you know,
especially the youth,
especially the youth, and especially
and
women, Ma.
Yes.
Being a woman, you know, it wouldn't have been easy for you back then, but they've got an opportunity. So thanks again, Mama, for coming in today. We really appreciate it, and all the best with all the plans for the festival and beyond. And I'll be there, definitely.
Please join us.
Yes, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. To our viewers at home, we've come to the end of our program for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is Open Studio. I'm your host, Thabang. Thank you so much that you could be with us, and may God bless.